Buongiorno and welcome to my cooking show named Preparare la Baguette. Today we're gonna prepare a food delivered to us by the Italian gods called tiramisu. You might think I'm over-exaggerating by calling it the food of a god. But honestly, I cannot live without my tiramisu. And if I ever have a bad day, I just eat a piece of tiramisu and I feel great again. And contrary to popular belief, making tiramisu is actually quite easy once you have the right ingredients, so we go right into it. First you'll need to get these kinds of biscuits that have one sugary side. I'd suggest you just go to the store and look for these. Then you'll need some cacao or chocolate powder, not the drinking one but the cooking one that's like a little bit more bitter. Then you'll need 4 spoons of sugar. I think everyone has sugar. 500 grams of mascarpone cheese. It's very important, it's like the filling of the tiramisu. 3 eggs, a plate where you put it all in. I have like this glass container that's the perfect size actually. Also very important, coffee, but I come to that later when we need it. First comes the most difficult part. It's getting those 3 eggs and separating the protein from the yolk. Smash the egg, then you just like throw it around without breaking it, letting like the protein thing in a bowl, which we will need. Oh boy, this egg is quite difficult to crack actually. Next we're gonna take our bowl with the protein and put it into a mixer. You could technically use this thing to like beat it up so it has like a fluffy texture. But for convenience sake and speed, I'm just gonna use a mixer. You just put it in there, like get this mixing thing. Once it reaches like that fluffy state, we will add the 4 teaspoons of sugar. You might think it's a lot, but it's actually not that much. Once you added the sugar, you will need to add the mascarpone. God damn it, wait. And this is a very important step, since you don't want to put it all in at the same time. You basically wanna get like a spoon, put in a little bit, and then stir it up. The slower you put it in and the better it's mixed, the fluffier the tiramisu will be. You could technically put it up all at once, but if you add it slowly over time, it's just gonna get like that fluffy, cloudy texture, which is really nice to taste. And so now you just mix it up and slowly add the 500 grams of mascarpone. I think the best way to see if it's done is to lift it up, and if it sticks like this and gets like this thick texture, it's done. But it really depends on the mascarpone. Like sometimes you just get like a pack that is really liquid, but it's actually not that bad. Like it's perfect if it sticks like that, but if it gets like a little bit more fluid, it's still tasty, but like the texture is a bit weird. So now we're done with the filling and we're gonna get to building the tiramisu. Now to the coffee. It's very important to pick a white bowl so you can put the biscuits in, since we will later need to do that. And to the coffee, I honestly don't have that much knowledge about it, but it's important to get like a stronger coffee type. I'm gonna get espresso lungo. It's on our coffee machine, 2 cups. I don't know how it's gonna be for you, since every coffee machine is different, but like getting espresso or espresso lungo is, let's say, the perfect amount. Once you got the coffee and the cream done, you will need to prepare your workspace. I prefer putting like the bowl in the middle and then opening all of these packs and laying them on this table. Because once you start assembling the tiramisu, your fingers will get quite dirty and you don't want to like make all of your kitchen dirty. You will need to take a biscuit, get the sugary side and put it into the coffee, but only that it's like half below the coffee, and very quickly. So you basically just take the biscuit with the sugary side, dunk it into the coffee very quickly, and then put a sugary side down in your holding space. I don't know how it's called. And you basically just do that now until you have like one full row. You just dunk it in, put it in here. It's very simple actually. Once you're done with a full row, you will want to take your cream that we prepared earlier. It's important to only take the half because we will make this one layer, put the cream in, and then another layer and put the other half in. So like you still want to have some cream for later on. So you better not put in all the cream, so the tiramisu will be quite weird. And to be honest, I think this time the consistency of the cream actually turned out quite well. Like it's not too fluid, but it's also not too solid. It's like the perfect cream. So once you have the cream on the tiramisu, you just want to flatten it out that like the cream is everywhere. Like if you have like spots without the cream, it will just taste weird, like one part with cream, one part without cream. And this can actually take a while to like distribute the cream so it's like flat everywhere. You can use like one of these things to make it easier for you. I actually never used one, so this is like my first time trying to use one. I think I reached like the perfect layer. Once you're done with the layer, you basically repeat step 1 of putting these biscuits into the coffee and just build another layer on top of this one. It's surprisingly easy to make tiramisu, I told you so. Once you're done with the second layer, you can put the coffee away. I probably don't suggest drinking it since it's all sugary. And now all you gotta do is get the rest of the cream and put it on the tiramisu in a nice smooth layer, because that's the layer you will actually see later on. So put a little bit more effort in this layer. Once you finish the last layer and made it really smooth, just get a sieve and your chocolate powder and put in a thin layer of chocolate over it. Like basically just go on Google, search for pictures of tiramisu and you will get how it needs to look like. Like don't put in too much because that will just make it taste weird. Like just a nice layer. I may actually have already put in a bit too much. Like people seem to underestimate how difficult it is to actually cook on camera, since you can't completely concentrate on the cooking. Now all there's left to do is covering it up with some foil and putting it in the fridge for 1 day. You can like you can basically eat it earlier, but I think 1 day is like the perfect time to let all the layers mix together. So we will see each other once it's done. It's now the next day. I took the tiramisu out of the fridge. I got some golden tools, a nice plate, and we're now gonna taste what we created yesterday. So let's open it up. Would you look at that? This is what a great tiramisu looks like. Let's take a piece out and see if we actually succeeded. You don't even need a knife to cut a tiramisu. You can just basically use anything to cut it. And as you can already see, taking out the first piece is the most difficult part, so excuse me if it doesn't look too beautiful. God damn it, it doesn't look great at all. As you can see, the piece didn't come out perfectly, but if you look at it, it doesn't fall apart. It has like that nice cloudy texture as I told you earlier. So let's just taste it. And yeah, it tastes great. So here's our result. Of course the piece doesn't look professional because I took it out like a noob. But it tastes great, it's super easy to make. I hope you enjoyed this video. Write me a comment if you want me to cook some other dishes or if you like this episode, and I'll see you later.